Hello and welcome. My name's Randy Rolfe and I'm an independent consultant with Nikken. And this is a 30-minute presentation overview of Nikken and telling some of our stories as independent consultants, what we've experienced with Nikken as a business and as an amazing source of total wellness. So I'm going to start sharing a PowerPoint with you, and then we will share more stories. We believe Nikken is a better way to a life in balance, and it affects people, planet, and profit. I love that. And it's all about helping others, and because you're helping others, you help yourself as well. And it helps the planet, and Nikken pays us well if we share the value of the technologies. The core of it is our daily practices. The daily small choices we make create whether we're happy, humans being more, which is the motto of the company for the last 43 years, and or a person who's not achieving their potential. And this little graph, if you're watching the video, shows the difference. And it's actually one person's story over 27 months, changing from a person having no idea, no direction, and not great health to someone who is the opposite. And the results are affecting in all your areas of your life. Small choices daily, consistently over time, create a radical difference in your income, health, relationships, happiness, and success. And I know this not only from my own experience, but from others. I started out as an attorney in the 70s and early 80s, and I realized that that lifestyle was not going to give me the freedom that I wanted. I'd get lots of money, but I wouldn't have time for my children. I'd be in an office all day or courtrooms and not have the health. I saw partners looking pasty and getting divorced and not knowing their kids. I'm like, this isn't going to work for me. And then I became a family counselor, and I saw how the effects of the daily choices that these families made added up to whether they needed counseling or were really happy. And so that was what I tried to teach them: good nutrition habits, good eating habits, good sleep, scheduling habits, and spending time together. And so those compounding choices can make all the difference. I'm going to get rid of the distractions on the right side of the screen. So what do we do to increase our health? Nikken's choice is all about active wellness. And it's based on Nikken's unique philosophy of the 5 pillars of health. And when I discovered that, I was so excited, because I'd never seen, being a corporate lawyer, on a company that had this kind of mission, that everyone deserves this kind of balance in their lives. And that's what I was going for. And healthy mind, healthy body, healthy finances, healthy family, and healthy society all at once. And I realized that I thought I'd given up the big finances when I left law, but I wanted a healthy body. I didn't want to be with competitive, argumentative people all day. I was looking for a healthy mind and more time with my family and more time to contribute to society. I felt as a big corporate team lawyer, I wasn't really helping society. It was just helping corporations fight each other. So this meant a whole lot to me, seeing those 5 pillars of health. So what are the major stresses in our lives that keep us from achieving that humans being more? It's mostly finances and health worries. And I saw that in the families I was counseling, huge, huge stress, and it's way worse now, even since the recession. And there's so many different factors that go into it, but the main one I heard from the families that I was counseling was finances. That was their daily worry. And even if their worries were health, it was about how to pay for it and how to miss work to go to the doctors and that kind of thing. So this is a picture of the cash flow quadrants developed by Robert Kiyosaki. And half of the picture is employees and self-employed who don't have any leverage. They're selling time for money. And as an employee, you only get paid what your position is worth, not what you're worth. And self-employed, you're often the last to get paid, and you have to be there for the money to come in. Now, 95% of our population earns their living this way, but they control 5% of the wealth. So the chances of getting wealthy on that side of the quadrants is slim. Now, 5% of the population, as everybody hears in the news these days, controls 95% of our wealth. And there are two ways to do that. One is to be a business owner, like a McDonald's franchise is pictured here, where you have a system established where you're leveraging the efforts and time of other people. But most franchises cost a whole lot of money. McDonald's at least $1 million per franchise, and you need 2 or 3 to actually get wealthy. And then the fourth quadrant is an investor. Well, there you need a couple million to even earn 50 to 60,000 a month. So you need money to start with to get into that 5% group that controls all the money. So what options do we have to move from the left side to the right side? Well, it's the gig economy that's coming into play at a very fast rate. Millennials are going this way. This is part-time work, temporary engagements, on-demand kinds of availability. And the millennials have seen their parents and grandparents where the corporation security has been pulled out from under them, and they're looking to be more entrepreneurial, to have their own side businesses while they're getting started. And it's very cost efficient to work from home. You have increased mobility and you have more work-life balance. And the growth of the gig economy is very obvious when you think about Uber, that's in 5 years has multiplied by a factor of 5 from 60 million to 68 billion in just 5 years. And those are all people that are participating in the gig economy. And then, of course, the impact of the internet. Amazon is a great example of that. While Walmart's kind of treading water, Amazon has increased also by a factor of more than 5. And that's because people are developing businesses online, they're buying online, they're selling online, and so on. So internet is crucial, and we still have no idea what it's going to do to the way our society earns money. What does Nikken do? What is their advantage? It's collaborative entrepreneurship. It is the perfect gig because the cost of entry is very low. It's less than $100 to become associated with Nikken, and then it's a couple thousand to get started with your own products. So it's easy to integrate it into your life, to share with others. Turnkey system, just like McDonald's, only it doesn't cost $1 million. Great leadership development is truly the perfect gig. And so what do we do as Nikken entrepreneurs, associates, distributors, consultants, whatever you want to call us? We leverage the time and effort of others as we help them build their own independent distributorship with Nikken. It's a win-win-win situation. So this is a quick little scheme of what we do in Nikken. We join Nikken, we share and promote it by having our own personal stories with the amazing Nikken technologies. We invite people to share with us as customers or consultants. And Nikken does all the heavy lifting that a corporation does, the R&D, the inventorying, the warehousing, the accounting, the operations, and then they are right on with sending us our commissions and special offers, incentives, and bonuses. the most generous plan in direct sales, as far as I can tell. And the core, the reason Nikken is so successful is because of its unique technologies. And Nikken has developed what's called the Nikken Wellness Home. 43 years ago, they developed products that restore the body to the natural energy as if we were walking outside on a mountainside. And it's very, very relaxing. It's all about de-stressing the body. And since then, they've developed products based on whole foods and good energy for sleep, light, air, water, and daily energy to keep our bodies in the ideal microenvironment. It's brilliant. There's nothing else like it. And when I was a lawyer, I taught myself nutrition and became a certified nutritionist to just keep my family healthy, but I found I loved sharing that. And when I came to Nikken, I found Nikken had a whole new way of supporting natural wellness, not only nutrition, but getting that natural energy, which is totally amazing and unique. And the technologies are patented. They create a cash flow engine for a business because there's the initial startup, getting whatever you're comfortable with buying, and then upgrading to our durable products, our sleep mattress pad and our water purification system, and then monthly support with the consumables and nutritionals and skincare, which are second to none. And then we invite others to check out our wellness home and join us in the business as customers or consultants. And then Nikken is always enhancing and improving and studying and finding new products, new ways to support natural health. And their reputation is such that scientists from around the world, when they think they have something really cool to help us stay healthy, they come to Nikken to see if Nikken's distribution network wants to handle it. So it's a purpose-driven model. And on the screen, you see a picture of our core circle of influence, and the people holding the little house in their hands is our customers who are building their wellness homes. And then the three people below the center of the circle, which is you in your wellness home, or me in my wellness home, the three below are our leader consultants, our partners in our business. And so we find those three leaders and help them find their customers and their leaders and so on. And then Nikken pays us handsomely. And it's a collaborative effort because we all help each other. B is the new consultant, A is the mentor or sponsor, and C is the person that B wants to introduce to Nikken. And so we have what we call a three-way or an ABC meeting or Zoom like this one, and we help each other build. So the support system is unique. It's only in network marketing. I know in law, people felt threatened by the smart associates coming up. That's not true in network marketing with Nikken. Everybody above you makes a little bit off of what you're making, and there's endless room at the top. There's not just one person at the top. Everybody can get up to that platinum, diamond, royal diamond. And this is a natural scheme of the impact that we can make. If you're an apple seed, there is absolutely no way to predict how, if you're nurtured and put in the right place, you can be responsible for millions, literally millions of apples from one seed. So this is a wonderful diagram I call cone of possibility, with the consultant at the top with their wellness home and their core of influence. And then down the left side, that's the three, finding three, finding three, finding three. In the middle is those 5 customers. So once you have your 3 who found 3, you've got your customers and their customers, so that's 45. And then on the top is what that means to you for profit. And so you can build from the silver, gold, platinum, and so on. And there's no limit, no glass ceiling. Age, you have to be 18, but you can be 95 if you want. It's really fantastic. And these are all the ways Nikken rewards us. I won't go into them in detail, but retail profits, cash bonuses, lifestyle bonuses, incentive trips, rebates, group overrides, leadership bonuses, truly amazing. Now I'm going to move on to a little more detail with the products, and I want to introduce you to my partner for this show, and that's Hattiejane, and I will put her back on the screen. Hattiejane, there she is.
Good morning, all. Thank you very much. Randy has done a wonderful overview of all of the authors. I'd like to speak to the direct effects I've had over the many months. This is a young person being, I'm a bit older. I've been in Nikken over 20 years, and I thoroughly am devoted to the product. Sorry, kitty cat's in the room. And so the changes have been dramatic. Yesterday, I sat next to a gentleman, and we were talking, and we are the same age, but he looks 20 years older than I do. So I thought that was, oh, how about that? And next slide, Randy. And while my background is in nursing, the product line does not require a medical background. We all have stress, we all have to sleep, we all breathe, and we all must have water because our bodies actually absolutely require it. And it seems like stress is the most one we might have some effect about because we perceive that as being external to us and not our doing. And yet, how our health and how our bodies feel and how we're able to cope with things are tremendously influenced by our sleep, air, and water. Therefore, Nikken's products have allowed me to get consistent sleep, go through a journey with my mother with Alzheimer's, which she chose to stay at home until she went to the great beyond, and I was able to help her do that by being here, and yet continuing to work with my business in Nikken. And the joy of seeing her being physically comfortable in her body, being perhaps you would say mentally comfortable with the fact that she was wondering who those people were speaking on that box and talking back to them when it was the television set. That was it could have been extremely stressful. But with the Nikken products, I was able to get deep restorative sleep. I was able to take care of any aches and pains I had. I was able to continue in my health journey. And therefore, as we said, we have specific products for many of these issues. Also, I have the joy of having a knee that is working its way toward aging now. And the products allow me to walk and continue walking comfortably. And children that I see changing, that is so exciting because if you have your wellness home, you're investigating for yourself as an adult, and you start noticing what we say we've noticed because it does happen. Your children then start going to the perhaps a refrigerator for a magnet for their boo-boos. They start having better endurance, happier functioning in classes because the breakfast they're taking down is fast and quick to go, but it has all the nutritionals all mixed up in one, and their health continues to grow. Therefore, Randy, I suggest if it's possible, we continue on because we've recognized to be healthy isn't up to a chance if we do some more better choices. And we love to choose active wellness and within the pillars of balancing our lives in all aspects. And that way our wellness home is just like a little greenhouse that provides us with the proper ingredients to support the environment we live in, and therefore it affects our wealth and health. As you see on the screen, there's a real quick breakdown of our basic consumable area, our water area, and our area that we persistently use to maintain our energy field throughout the day and recovery at night. I'm not going to describe them and talk to the person who introduced me to this video. They're fabulous. And each one has a magical story. Sudjah, I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name again. Rhymes with judge. Sudj. There, I've got it. Sudj. I'd love to hear more of your story.
Thank you so much, Hattiejane. That was great. I want to welcome Sudjah as our guest, as Hattiejane said, and thank you so much for joining us, Sudjah. She has a wonderful story. So if you can tell us, how did you discover Nikken, first of all, and what's your background quickly? And then as everybody realizes, these are wellness products. We don't diagnose, treat, or talk about prognosis or diagnosis or any of that kind of thing. I need to say that, especially as a lawyer, because these products are non-medical, and that means that we can all use them. There are no side effects, there's no bad effects, only good effects, and so we don't need expert advice of any kind, like Hattiejane said so well. You don't have to be a nurse or a nutritionist to use these products or any other kind of specialty. It's for everyone, and everyone needs them. Nobody has them really, and it's an amazing business. So welcome, Sudjah. Please share your story with us.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you for having me. You know, it's interesting just getting a chance to see Hattiejane earlier today, because she's actually not too far from me. And her story has been one of many stories that's helped to keep me really, really motivated, because she actually was able to get rid of 100 pounds. And a lot of us hold on to extra weight as the result of toxic swell. And basically very early at the age of 20, I started breaking down in the way that most people don't start breaking down till they're typically much older in their senior years. So for me, it was very life-changing, and I had to then try to figure out how I was going to be able to live and live well. So I changed a lot in the way of going from a normal modern lifestyle to changing my food, so much so that I actually ended up becoming a farmer. I ended up creating all of my own skincare products, hair products, and really creating a natural head-to-toe community that went all over the country touring and trying to help others who were pretty much suffering the same things that I had gone through, and had no concept that it had become basically an epidemic that was going on within communities of color. So then I was fortunate that a girlfriend of mine, who's a mother of 7, had her son who was explaining to me what this amazing power band was on his neck, and why the water, I just had to drink it, that was in the kitchen, and why I just had to get a cocoon. And I was looking at him kind of like, okay, so why is it? And he explained it in a way that I haven't heard anyone else say as well as he did. And he said, basically, when I used to get up in the morning, it didn't feel like I had slept at all. And he was like, have you ever felt that way? And I'm looking at him like, yeah, having had a diagnosis of fibromyalgia, meeting all the criteria of autoimmune conditions and chronic fatigue, I knew exactly what he was talking about, because that had been my journey of pain and suffering for years. And you just kind of learn to cope and do as best as you can. So he said, well, as long as I drink the water and I keep my power band on my neck and I sleep in my cocoon, I don't feel the weight of everything pressing down on me. That for me was an aha moment, because I know that he wasn't trying to sell me anything. He was just trying to share with me what he saw was amazing for him. So I ended up going to actually hear a presentation to get a better look of what this thing is, and was determined that because I was pregnant at that time on bed rest, there's no way I'm going to buy anything now. I'll do whatever later. I'm not going to do this thing. And I joked because as soon as I was there, I was looking at my husband getting a muscle response test. And we had known, because I am the one that we knew to have issues with migraines and all of these issues with electromagnetic field pollution sensitivity, that I was shocked because he became wimpy when they were doing muscle response testing with him holding a cell phone. And I thought it was weird because as soon as they put the insoles underneath his feet and they put the power band on him, he came back to being super strong again. So to say the least, I chuckled and I was saying, okay, now how do I get this stuff wholesale? Because I see too much stuff I want. And I was sitting on a Kinko seat that I didn't want to give up. And it was rather funny because they were gracious enough to allow me to sit on the seat the entire time. And I ended up drinking the water. And I had been going prior weeks every week because we knew that that pregnancy was a high-risk pregnancy. And they kept telling me that the edema that was surrounding the baby was something that couldn't go away. It doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. And I drank the water. I sat on the seat, did what I typically do, and returned back on that following Thursday. So it's only between a Sunday and a Thursday. And all of the edema that never goes away, it just never goes away, the doctor was saying it was gone. So for me, that was, are you serious? Are you really? And I didn't understand why. I didn't understand any reasons why this would have been such a radical change or radical difference. So I was slower in moving than I should have been. And I think I was probably really just being a procrastinator, penny wise, pound foolish, because I said, I'm going to do this wholesale account. It's just $99. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it later. So I ended up procrastinating. My girlfriend just let me use her waterfall system, and we got lots and lots of gallons. But there came a point where I didn't go back to get the refill. We got some other alkaline water that was just accessible from the local store, and I ended up going into preterm labor. So for me, that was the huge aha moment, because we realized that if I had had the tools that kept coming to my mind, and it was weird because I kept saying, well, that seat, I need that seat. Who has one of those seats? And the water, the outcome probably would have been different. So subsequent therein, I actually attended the week after we buried our daughter. I ended up attending a presentation, and she was explaining how the water was microclustered, ionized, mineralized, as well as alkalized. And I said, aha, that's why. That's the difference. Because I had noticed that my hair, which typically it would get dry at certain points of time, it wasn't getting dry at all. And I saw it was a change from the water. Typically, I would have to run to the restroom after drinking water. That was a long-standing tradition. But I could drink gallons and gallons, and I wouldn't be running to the restroom. Because unlike the other waters that I thought were water, they were fake water. So though I knew not to drink plastic bottled water, though I knew certain things, this experience within the Nikken family has been transformational, because I now have tools that I've been able to share with others, as well as really getting from myself and my own family initially, that have really been transformational. So we've actually been able to help several other mothers who were in the same jeopardy of going into preterm labor, one of whom was in labor at 16 weeks. And we were able to get her on the water, get her on the lactoferrin, and her mother actually was holding the baby on a call that we did a couple of days ago, and she's actually a consultant now with us. So we're having a lot of major wins. And so for me, it's always been not about me, but it's always been about we. So it's awesome to be able to share with others and help them to get the wins, because life in full is so vital. It's so important. And now we're really able to cooperatively help each other to master the art of living in balance. And so within our core team, we always say cooperative balance wellness. And that's focusing in on making sure you're getting really the needs that you need to have a strong body, a strong mind, a strong family, and really be able to make community inputs whereby you're not functioning as if you're an island, because no man or woman is an island. And really focus on having good finances, because a lot of times, especially in my own communities and the communities that I serve, we tend to be very much cooperative in thinking, but oftentimes we think that having money somehow makes you a bad person, as if doing too much in the way of wealth somehow means that you're now going to be this bad person, when in fact, finances are a bridge to be able to serve more people and help more people when used well. So with wellness coming in from a more balanced perspective. I'm looking at so many who are around me literally transforming. My husband and I have been joking because I used to be a competitive swimmer. And with that, I was drinking chlorine. And so we've kind of figured out that some of the things you think you're doing to try to be healthy actually aren't helping at all. So now we have the full water system. We have my water faucet that you can see behind me, the water bottle, as well as the actual shower system. So there's no more drinking chlorine in my home. And so as opposed to just keeping it to myself, it was kind of funny. A lot of people were like, well, you're not going to tell us what you're doing. It's obvious you're doing something. So it became a really funny joke, but it's become really a lifestyle for us. One that really is just a continuation of what we've always done. But my husband, I think for me, has been the biggest change because I thought we would have to keep trying to convince him to move souls from shoe to shoe from the time he was 11. And we basically went to the podiatrist and they wanted to just give him cortisone injections. And I'm looking at the lady like, that's not going to happen. We're not doing that. And she's like, he's going to have this problem forever. And I'm like, not really. I doubt it. So we'll let you know once it gets better. And the insoles for him ended up becoming the thing that helped him get better. And I never had to once suggest to him to move the insoles from one shoe to the other shoe. He just naturally did it because he felt his body getting better. So it's been a really amazing experience that really has been transforming many of us in my circle. So I'm super happy about the journey.
Oh, thank you so much, Sudjah. That you're so clear and expressive and passionate about it. It's an amazing discovery, and we want everyone to know about it. So please let me get back to my little slideshow here, and let's begin your success story. Get with the person that invited you. There, we have these kinds of programs on all through the week. There's one tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern time. You can meet Sudjah and everyone else on this call at our next big event, which is in Toronto in October, just a month from now. And you want to get around these kinds of people that are here to serve, to set an example by being healthy themselves, and get out there and share it with the world. We invite you to be a customer first and get your own products like Sudjah did and Hattiejane, just, you know, what can this do for me and my family? And then people will notice the change, and you have no idea how good you can feel until you're using Nikken products. It's quite amazing. You can become a part-time entrepreneur. Nikken pays handsomely, keeps your daytime work, or you can switch to full-time entrepreneur. Many people have been super successful and affected tens of thousands of lives in their Nikken business. So please get with the person who invited you to this presentation and ask them to share more. Get 100% informed. The more you look, the more you'll like it. You know, having a law background, dietitian background, and family counseling, and Sudjah and Hattiejane being in helping people, energy medicine, nursing, everything. It's and Sudjah was originally in IT, right? So there's all different kinds of people, and you can just ask them questions and learn how Nikken can help you achieve that balance in all 5 pillars. So thank you so much, Sudjah and Hattiejane Daracourt. And I'm going to end the recording now.